Welcome back. What up? What up? This is Two for the Money, and we're back, but I'm back dolo. That's all right. You know, we're going to keep it coming for you guys every single week. Try to keep you guys updated on everything. But I'm by myself this week. That's all right. Wise Guy Frankie, he'll be back with us next week. But let's just get right into it, man. You know, last week it was up and down, but we had a positive. We got our sweep in the NFL. That's what we were looking for. I'm going to start with the positives. NFL, we went 4-0 last week. If you saw on social medias on Instagram, you saw what we had. So that brought my NFL record over 500, which we wanted to do. We're now sitting at 13-10 in the NFL, and college football continues to be a struggle. But, you know, if you've been watching and paying attention to college football, it's been a tough year. You're getting a lot of tough games. You're getting a lot of tough lines, and you just don't really know what teams are bringing it week in and week out. You know, no one's really dominating this season except the Ohio State Buckeyes. But other than that, you know, these teams, they're all got their faulty ways. But, you know, we'd like to get back on 500 this week. I went 1-3 last week in college football, so my college football record is sitting at 13-17-1. But we're just going to keep on bucking and trending. Let's get right into it. First game up, we're going to the American Conference, and this is one of these sneaky games. You know, South Florida has been the most surprised team of the year. They've been the Boise State, I would say, the underdog that just came out of nowhere and dominated. They won against Boise State week 1. They won in Florida, Gainesville week 3, and they just been beating everybody since. They're sitting here undefeated. And they're on the road against Memphis, who would be undefeated, but they lost last week to UAB. Memphis is at home, and they are missing their starting quarterback in this game. So I just like South Florida a lot better than I do Memphis. You're getting a weird number at 5.5. So the trend for me is going to be buying points in college football this week because I like, you know, even numbers. I like solid numbers, football numbers, if you will. Give me South Florida -3 on the road at Memphis. For my second pick here, we're sticking at the 9 a.m. So we're going to have a lot of morning games. So I hope you guys are up early to catch these morning games. 9 a.m. on the road again. Looking at North Carolina and Virginia. Virginia is on the road at North Carolina, and the vibes are very, very low in Chapel Hill. Bill Belichick's one of the best coaches ever, but as a college football coach, he's been very, very subpar. North Carolina, not really good right now. Virginia has all the vibes. They had a close game last week against Washington State. That's 2 weeks in a row that Washington State has took their opponent to the brink and almost beat them. So Virginia here, I think they're going to bounce back here. And we're getting a small number in the first half. I'm not going to take the full game. I'm only going to look at the first half here. Virginia -5.5 in the first half here. Under a touchdown. I think they're just going to blow North Carolina out. But I don't want to wait all game for it. I think Virginia is going to show up early and often in this game. So I like Virginia in the first half, -5.5. Next spot up here, going to the Big Ten. And we're coming out west all the way to Seattle. We got Illinois on the road against Washington. Now, I really wasn't looking at this game, but it just kind of struck to me that Illinois was kind of catching a lot of points. And Illinois, you know, they only have 2 losses. And who are their 2 losses against? The number 1 team in the country and the number 2 team in the country. They lost to Ohio State and they lost to Indiana. Both games were blowouts. But is Washington on the level of Ohio State and Indiana? I don't think so. I don't think Illinois should be an underdog here, let alone catching almost a touchdown. And that's what I did. I bought a couple points. I like Illinois +6. I was on Illinois early in the year. I like what they brought back. They have a lot of senior leadership on this team, a lot of veterans that came back. The offensive line is completely brought back. I mean, they're all seniors on that offensive line. So I think Illinois here, they can keep it close if they lose this game. I think they're going to win this game or outright, but I'll buy some points here. You got to pay a little more to get it, but I like Illinois +6. Next game up on the slate here, we got TCU going to Morgantown to play West Virginia, and West Virginia has been a complete fade all year. I think the only game West Virginia actually has covered is the game that I lost on against Pittsburgh, their rivalry game, and ever since then, West Virginia has just been And TCU, we saw. Only time I really paid attention to TCU was week 1 against North Carolina, and they took North Carolina to the woodshed and beat them boys down. I like TCU here. They are the better team in this game. TCU, big dog in the Big 12. West Virginia, this is one of those years that they're having. First year with Rich Rodriguez is just, they lost too many guys to really compete. TCU is still live for that Big 12 championship, for that Big 12 title. So they got to go ahead and go to Morgantown and really put up the points, which I expect them to do. I'm going to take TCU in the first half. It's a touchdown and a half, so it's -7.5. I like TCU here to dominate. Give me the points early. Take TCU first half -7.5. For my last game up, we're going to the good old South here. Baton Rouge under the lights. And I crossed off Ole Miss. I originally had Ole Miss at Oklahoma, and I was going to take the points with Ole Miss. But I crossed this game off for this one just for the simple fact that everyone in the media would say don't trust Ole Miss. Usually I don't follow the media, but I'm going to follow them here just because I like Texas A&M just a little bit more. LSU, I mean, if you've been watching LSU this year, they're just tough to trust. I don't trust anything that they have on offense. The defense, I just saw right now, one of their guys is going to enter the transfer portal. The vibes are not high in Baton Rouge. And they are undefeated at home under night. Everyone says it's hard to win in LSU at night, which is definitely true. And this low-key could be a trap spot for A&M. But I did it myself last year. A&M went on the road to Auburn last year, and I laid the points for A&M, and I think they lost in that game outright. I'm doing it again here just for the simple fact that I think that they learned. Mike Elko is such a good coach, and they got Texas A&M playing really, really good football. They have superstar talent on the wide receiver end. They are going to run the ball. It's all up to Marcel Reed to protect the ball and just get out of there with a win. The line is so small. It's under a field goal. I think Texas A&M will handle the business here and get the job done. This will be a huge upset if LSU were to do it, but I don't think they will. I don't trust them to do it. I like Texas A&M in this spot here. Give me Texas A&M -2.5. Now for our NFL slate, like I said, I'm coming off a hot one, a heater. 4-0 last week. Let's see if we can get it started and we can keep that trend going. We're going to get it started here early in the NFL, 9 a.m. I'm going with my rivals. I don't like the Bengals at all. I really don't like to bet with the Bengals, but they're playing the New York Jets. And the New York Jets, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do they stink. They are not good at all. I like Joe Flacco, and, the keys to the Bengals' success is through the air. They're going to throw the ball up. That passing game should open up the running game for Brown, the running back for the Bengals. The Jets, they just don't score any points, and it's hard to, think that they're going to do it this week on the road against the Bengals, who, yes, they won Thursday night, had a lot of rest. Second week with Joe Flacco, I know they're just going to air it out. And the Jets, the vibes just aren't good with the Jets offensively or defensively. So I'm going to lay the points here. Give me the Bengals -6, and I'm going to ride with it. Go Bengals. Next game here on the NFL slate, we're going on the road with Houston, or to Houston, I should say. And the 49ers in Houston right here. And this one, the line is very small. It's basically a pick 'em. But I'm seeing the Niners as the underdog. We're shooting this right here on Wednesday night. Right now, the Niners are an underdog, and that's where I like the Niners. 49ers getting money. I like the Niners on the money line, +105. The Texans, they just don't have the capacity. They don't have the talent. The wide receiver core is just so solely on Nico Collins, and Nico Collins is in concussion protocol. He might not even suit up for this game. Don't really know where the points are going to come for the Texans. I know the Niners are going to play good defense. That was a good win against the Atlanta Falcons. I thought the Falcons were going to dominate that game, and they showed up to play. I don't know if Brock Purdy's coming back. Even if he does come back, they're going to be a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey. It's going to be a heavy dose of short and dink and dunk passes. I like Kyle Shanahan as a head coach and an offensive coordinator and a play caller. He's one of the best in the games. And, I got to give my flowers where flowers are due. The Niners, they just find a way to keep it done. I'm getting them here as an underdog on the road. It's too good for me not to take. Give me the San Francisco 49ers on the money line. Man, I feel like I'm taking a lot of road teams, both in college and NFL, but That's just what I got to do. That's where the number, that's just where the schedule is. It's weird. You know, you don't really want to take a lot of road teams. You want to have some value on the home teams. But here's another road team. The Carolina Panthers are playing the Bills.
Oh yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, man, they're coming off a bye, and they're also coming off a loss. I know they're pissed off. Josh Allen is due for a great game right here.
After the Chiefs showed out too against the Raiders.
Exactly.
The Bills gotta be like, oh,
The Bills have got to be licking their chops here. And you're playing the Carolina Panthers, who do not have Bryce Young as their starting quarterback. It's going to be Andy Dalton from the dead back up here, and I don't trust him. I don't like Andy Dalton. I mean, I think he's the quarterback of yesteryears. So I'm going to lay the points with the Bills. Give me the Bills on the road, -7. For my last pick in the NFL here, I got a home team in this one, Dirty Birds. I need to see them bring it out. We were on the Falcons last week. My guy Frankie, that was his pick. And they went to San Francisco. And, you know, San Francisco, that's a tough place to win. I can't say that I'm not surprised that they didn't win, because I am surprised. I thought they were going to win that football game. But here's a good spot to ban them again. They're playing the Miami Dolphins, who are just the ultimate fade team. You got Tua in the media talking about how he can't see certain guys, which is why he's throwing picks and this and that. How is Mike McDaniel still the head coach on this football team? I mean, they are in so much turmoil. It's laughable at this point. The Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And what you do against one of the worst teams in the NFL, you just fade. And on top of it, the icing on the cake here is the Dolphins cannot stop the run. Give me Bijan Robinson all day, every single play. Give the ball to Robinson. Give the ball to Tyler Algier, and just get out of the way. I don't even need Michael Penix to do anything here. Even though he's got some talent in the wide receiver group, I don't need him to do much. Give the Falcons the ball. Run the Dolphins up out of there. Get yourself back in the win column. Lay the points with the Atlanta Falcons. Give me the Falcons -7, and I'll see you on the other side.